It's my honour and my privilege to introduce Ayshire. So, the group has asked Purdy to come and share for us. So Purdy and all his friends have come up from all over England. Yes, woo! That's it, Mura. Sorry.
Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Purdy. I'm a recovered addict who's lost his voice because at karaoke last night himself will run riot, and it was great fun. But yeah, thank you so much. And wow, you know, how incredible is this? It really, really is. And you know, I just amazes me. And you know you're home. You know you're in the right place. For me, you know, I'm sitting in meetings. I'm nodding, I'm listening to what everyone's saying. I'm looking around and I'm just filled with emotion. The banners, the flyers, and just amazing the committee and everyone for everything they've done and putting this on today. You know, it's incredible. And, you know, the hospitality since we got here. Eddie, bless him, who we've been, I thought being an addict was tough, trying to book all the hotels and everything else. So I learned a lot in that process. It was just, it was wonderful. But no, just, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Because the guy standing here isn't the guy that come into this place. You know, I wasn't very well at all. You know, really, really unwell. And we'll talk about that, you know. And this fellowship has taught me. It's taught me so much. It's taught me about the silence and where I can find my answers when I shut up, when I be quiet, you know, when I don't want to try and run the show all the time. You know, it's taught me that hurt people hurt people. That's what I learned, because that's what I ended up being. I come from trauma, and I promised that I would never be that person. You know, that pain I went through and that suffering, I'm never going to be like them. I'm never going to treat my kids like that. I'm never going to be that type of dad. And I become just that in a different way. I'm not a violent guy, but I go missing. I'm always wanting. I'm always searching. I'm always looking, because I'm a love junkie. That's what I am. That's what that trauma come from. I'm a love junkie. I need love. I just wanted to give me a cuddle. So it teaches me that, you know, I'm going to keep hurting people. I don't mean to do it. I don't mean to be that guy. But if I don't heal from what hurt me, I'm going to keep bleeding over people that never cut me. And I'll continue to do this. And that's what my addiction, that's where it took me. You know, actually, one of my first, I found love in drugs. I loved drugs because being adopted and being in care homes and then coming into different families, I was made to feel that I wasn't part of, that I wasn't wanted. You know, whispered in the ear, picked on, old man used to come in and give me a hiding. I go to bed bloody. And all the time I'm thinking, what's this about? Because a little bit of something about me. I didn't want this life, you know. And then at 12 years old, I find drugs. Actually, it was one of the first ever I found a rave. I found a night, I was born in the 90s, that early rave scene. Oh my God. You know, I come into this, I went round someone's house. I came into drugs and I came into this fellowship in two very strange ways. So devoid from life I was, and I had no life. I remember going around my friend's house once, I was about 12 years old, and his dad come in, he went, hello boy, you alright? He said, do you want a bacon sandwich? And that blew my mind, because I'm not used to that. And I went into his bedroom and he had all these flyers all over the walls, all these hardcore, Fantasia, all these things, all these tape decks, the Slipmatt, Carl Cox, all this. And all of a sudden I fell in love. A bit like rock, a bit like, you know, the punk years. Rave for me was that. I fell in love. I found something I could grab onto and cling onto. And I absolutely loved it. One of the first raves, second time I've ever been to Scotland. First time was at the SECC in Glasgow City, I mean 1993. Carl Cox, Scott Brown, Rat Pack. Did a massive 12,000, it's your fault I'm here. And it was a big 12,000 people party and it was incredible. Oh my God, the piano tunes, you know, just that feeling. You know, and the drugs, gas canisters up each hand. Wing, 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 you know, that feeling. All of a sudden I'm out of self, sniffing whatever it is, glue, it didn't matter. Yeah. I'm smoking weed, I'm hitting bongs, I'm Brizzlers with speed down the throat. We're in the party, I'm taking these. Oh my God. I'm loving it. We're cuddling each other. People didn't want to fight or frolic. Try to keep my language down now. So I'm trying to be aware of my language, because I swear a lot. didn't want to fight or frolic. You know, they wanted to party. They wanted unity. And who'd have thought all these years later, I'd find that same unity that I found back then. I'd get emotional in here with a load of drug addicts, you know, because of good people. We just get a little lost along the way and the party don't go on forever. So I went through those years, you know, and absolutely loved it. Acid came on the scene. All of a sudden I'm in the woods and I'm dancing. I'm thinking I can control the fires and all this type of stuff. And it was great. I loved it, man. I loved it. Life moves on. Unfortunately, crime becomes a part of life. You know, I need to fund this habit. I don't want to go to work. I'm having a good time. I want the party to continue. So crime becomes a big part. Puts a darker twist on what was once a beautiful arena. You know, because all of a sudden I'm robbing, I'm out, I'm stealing, I'm thieving, I'm doing all this stuff. Crack. I start smoking crack. I start injecting heroin. One's worse than the other. I'm the disease of now and more. You know, I don't want to be me. I don't know that yet. I just want to get high. And that's what I do. So, I find myself in a situation in South London where I'm in this dark and dingy flat. I'm absolutely out of my head. And, a geezer comes in with a machete, puts a machete around my throat. And he pins me up against the wall. And I thought I was going to die at that point. I was barefooted sitting in this dark and dingy flat. And the geezer knocked on the door. There's a guy from Liverpool. He'd been out on a rob. And he came in and they were talking. They went in the kitchen. And I sat there at that bed at the moment. I just thought, I'm going to die here. I'm going to die here tonight. I shot up on a run. And I spoke to my mate and I said, mate, I've got to get out of here. He said, let's go to North London. I don't think there's any drugs in North London. There 100% is drugs in North London. So all of us, it's a new life. It's a new way of life for me. All of a sudden I find a different way of life. People are dressing a little bit different. I'm in white Ralph Lauren cloth shirts. I'm in white Reebok classics. I've got earrings. I've got sovereigns over every finger. Some sort of cocaine pirate. But football, fighting, sex, drugs and rock and roll. You know, all of a sudden I've got this new addiction. Yeah. And they become my life. I die for them people because that's all I've got. They're all I got. It's not reciprocated. Why should it be? Because I believe everything. I'm just such a nice guy. I treat everyone the right way. Become a drug dealer. You know, if you was all around my house having a party, every single one of you get a line. I was the worst drug dealer in the world. Because I'm a love junkie, you know. So all of a sudden I find myself owing money and I'm in that world again. You know, football's on and we're fighting, we're drinking and I get into a fight and end up getting a 4-year prison sentence. When I was in there, I felt alone again. You know, alone again. I made a decision in my mind that I was going to change my life. That I was going to come out and I was going to get a wife and I was going to get kids and I was going to get a job and I was going to fly a kite and everything's going to be in slow motion and the dog's going to come up. I'm working it all out. Pretty populated mind of an addict, you know, so sick. So I don't realise what's happening to me. I don't realise this avatar that I'm creating. This external being. All outside. All front. No back. Nothing internal. Everything about me is external. Searching for love. So, you know, at 20 years old and being in prison, coming out of that scenario, I come out. I'm still drinking, I'm still using, because I don't think that's a problem. You know, I do all the things I said I was going to do. Laser focused am I as an addict. I get a wife, I have kids, I go to work. I'm a stand-up addict now, I can do all these things. But she becomes a prisoner in my mind and my ways. The big book talks about the real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I didn't understand it at first. I read this book, gobbledygook. Yeah, I'm talking about Bob and Fred and Jim and all these people in the 1930s and Wall Street and everything, and I don't get it. But I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. That's later. I am the real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, I've been to prison, but I'm not the prison guy. I'm not that guy. You know? Even though I've been to prison, I'm not that guy that ride or die, the guy that'll let you down. I'm the other guy. I'm the dangerous one. Because I want a fairy tale. And I promise you the world. And if you're with me, you fall in love with me. And your family fall in love with me. And I'm the captain of the football team. And I'm the master at work. And I'm all these things. I'm all these external beings. You know, your family will love me. Their kids will love me. I grow in this web around me of love. And then I tear it down. Because that's what I do. I don't mean to be that guy. But I'm so full of character defects. I'm so full of self. I'm so full of this illness that I don't understand. That you spend long enough with me and you don't love me enough. And you're going to leave me and you're going to let me down like everyone else has ever let me down. And I make you know about it. And I'll destroy your world. But I don't mean to do it. My first wife committed suicide. Because she's a prisoner of my mind and my ways. I left her lonely, you know. She loved me so much. I just was always searching. We're two beautiful children. We've got two beautiful children together. And when it happened, I didn't know what to do. I left my kids in the care of her mum and dad, and I tore London apart because poor me. Why is this always happening to me? I'm such a lovely guy. Why is this always happening to me? Me. Why is this always happening to me? Like an agent of chaos. I go out there and I don't care anymore. I'm wild. I'm wilder than I've ever been. Strip club. I meet a stripper. I realised I fell in love with a stripper before. I fell in love with a stripper. And I'm going to change her life now. I've got this new idea in my mind. I'm going to get her out of this scenario and I'm going to look after her and I'm going to take care of her and I'm going to get her out of this world, this dark world, and I'm going to bring her to fucking hell, an even darker one. I'm going to bring her in because I want the fairy tale. I want the fairy tale. And I believe it. I'm so convinced in my mind that everything's going to be different this time. Not understanding the destruction, the terror, the mayhem that it produces. I'm now an addict that's depressed, and I've got bipolar, and I'm anxious, and I've got all these things. I'm taking tablets left, right and centre, and I'm crying into my cocaine. No one would ever know that I had a problem. They'd see the party. They'd see Purdy on the tables. They see the wild man. They see the giving guy that gives them love and looks after them. What they don't see is they don't see the guy that goes home at night, crying into his lines of cocaine, smoking dog butts, you know, crawling around on all fours at 7 a.m. wanting to die. They don't see that guy. And I held that away from everyone forever until I come into CA. So guess what? I destroyed another 10-year marriage. We had another 2 kids, beautiful kids, you know, so all of a sudden, I'm 40. And I had that alone feeling again at 40 years old. Why is this happening to me, man? What is going on here? And I decided that it was enough. I wanted out. And I went through with it. You know, I hung myself from a tree. I went through with it. That's my story. I ended up in hospital. I couldn't talk. And there was a point. God works in mysterious ways, yeah. So, and God and all this spiritual awakening, spiritual experiences. I don't know nothing about any of this stuff. So this magical thing happens. When they asked me, they said, is there anyone we can call? No. I pissed away anyone that's ever loved me. I've got no one left. It's just me. 40 years old, I'm on my own. In a hospital. I can't even die. You know what I mean? That's where drugs took me. What happened to that party all those years ago? You know, that's where drugs took me. And I had no one that I could call a next to kin. And a woman come and sat on my bed. And her name was Bernadette. And she sat down and she said, hello, my name is Bernadette. I wasn't like this. I was a bit skinnier and in a gown, feeling all sorry for myself. She said, my name's Bernadette. I'm going to be taking you to a care place. We're going to look after you. We're going to make sure you're all right, etc., etc. I said, okay. In a minute, we're going to get a taxi and we're going to drive down there. I said, amazing. I probably didn't say that. Just, okay. Sitting in the back of this taxi and we're making small talk. She said, so where are you from? I said, I'm from London. She said, okay. I said, where are you from? She said, I'm from Cornwall. And I remember I said I was adopted. I know that my mum's called Melanie. That's all I know. And I knew I lived in 13 New Road, Troon, because it's on my birth certificate. 40 years later, I'm in London, hundreds of miles away from Cornwall. And this woman, this stranger, is sitting in the taxi next to me. And she says, I'm from Cornwall. I said, that's funny you should say that. I was actually born in Cornwall, but I've lived all my life in London. She said, whereabouts in Cornwall? I said, a little place called Troon. She said, I'm from Troon. I said, I was adopted. This total stranger sitting next to me. She put her hands over her face. She turned from my carer into a little child. She said, you're not Melanie's little boy, are you? I said, Melanie was my mum. And I said, yeah. She said, oh my God, your mum was my best friend. And when she was pregnant with you, we were running away, we were living in barns, we were sleeping, we were trying to escape because there was wasn't the time back then, and I was like, oh my fucking God, oh my God. She said, get yourself better and keep in touch, let's do this. See, that was God saying, you know what I mean? Here, I'll give you, I didn't know that. Let me give you a bit of hope. What did I do with that hope? Sniff cocaine and destroyed my life some more. Because that's all I know how to do. That's all I am. And I still think everyone else has got a problem and I'm alright. You know? And I did. I took myself into the ground for another few years until, and let's talk about solution, till I come here. And I came into here off the back of ego, off the back of no one saw Purdy. Everyone saw Party Purdy. I'd gone missing for quite a long while. I was using a lot of drugs. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I didn't want to live. I didn't know how to die. I had no purpose. None. I didn't know who I was or what I was doing. I don't see my kid. I don't see anyone. My door was left open and someone walked in and I'm crawling around on the floor and my heart's beating out my chest and you're going through that thing. So amazing, drugs when you get to that level. And I'm just destroyed. And someone puts their hand on me and they go, Purdy. And I looked up and they said they'd never been so scared in all their life for what they saw. They said, mate, you need to get help, mate. You need some help, man. I was like, okay. They put me in touch with CA. An online meeting. Oh my God. Joined an online meeting, talk to God, get a big book, get a sponsor. What's the matter with these lot? All of a sudden I'm in this meeting and I'm listening and I hear someone share. Nodding a little bit like that, you know, and I'm thinking, I'm hearing, still not well, but I'm hearing this person share. I thought, wow, it's a little bit like my story. A couple of things in there, I get it. And it says, put your number in the chat. So afterwards, I put my number in the chat. That geezer for South London with 1-2 for crackhead, run me. He said, let go, brother. Yeah, let me help you. He said, Purdy, do you know what? You're not a bad person, man. You're just sick like me. I was in. He said, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, nothing. He said, all right, we'll get to work. Step one, we, first word, oh my God, we admit we were powerless and life had become unmanageable. And I'm going to talk about the steps we took. I said, listen, because they saved my life. They saved my life now. Constantly working in them, spiritually, identifying, understanding and living and breathing in these steps. Step one, we admitted we were powerless and life had become unmanageable. And we're doing this work together. You know, fantastic, beautiful bit of work we look at in the book. You know, I did a different way. We look at a log and loser list. The first 43 pages, I dissect all the things that understand my powerlessness. You know, my willpower, all the promises that I've made, all the frothy emotional appeals. If I had money or if I had no money, if I was Keiko, you'd all be coming to the party. If I had no money, I'd rob it, I'd beg it, I'd borrow it, I'd steal it, I'd do whatever it took to get this stuff. If I was happy, I want to party. If I was sad, I need to bring myself up. Knowledge, everything. It's a big list. As long as your arm, I start writing all this stuff down. Powerlessness of this disease, you know. And then I said, you know what, if one person had something like that happen to them, they changed their course of direction, they changed their life. Yeah, I'm all of these things, and it starts to really sink in. And then I look at the unmanageability, I look at the other side of it and the things that I'd lost and the things that I haven't attained because I couldn't stay sober, because I couldn't stay abstinent all the time. Money, my family, my babies, my 4 little babies, you know. Learning that doctor's opinion, guys. You know, there's an obsession of my mind. Whether I'm taking drugs or I'm not taking drugs, I'm thinking about it, even though I'm in this wheel, this misery go round. Hunting, searching, looking, wanting. You know, we learn of an analogy. Once I stop, I cannot stop. I want to. I'm a hopeless addict. I want to. I don't even like drugs in the end. You know, I remember like driving to taking myself to bed, talking to yourself. I can do it, you ain't doing it, you ain't doing it. And then getting up, getting ready, trying to look a bit sharp. I'm throwing up as I'm driving because I know the sensation it's going to happen. You know, that's how powerful this stuff is. Overpowering of mind and body. And I learned that I'm completely fucked. I'm completely cut off from any type of spiritual life. There's a liar that lives inside my mind. Every time he tells me it's going to be all right. It doesn't matter what I've lost. I'll keep destroying everyone's life, including my own, my babies. I remember him banging on the window. I remember the tears in me. I promise I'll never do it again. Black bags out. I'm out of another house, you know. I promise I'll never do it again. I promise I'll never do it again. Banging on the window, Daddy. I convinced myself I ain't going to do that again. You do this piece of work, you know. Just what we learn is a solution. So many things in that first step. And I had that solid foundation, you know. I had a really solid foundation of that step one. And this is how quick I come into fellowship. But I remember at the end of that session, I was like, wow, because I like things I can focus on. He said, I've tried everything else, you know, I've tried never ever knocking any type of therapy, anything, everything has its part. For me, I'm a liar. It didn't work. I pay my 60 quid. I'd go in there, I'd tell them everything they needed to hear. I might even have a cry, I might even have a few tears, and then I'd walk out there and get off my head. It didn't work for me, that action plan, that treasure map, that pathway. I saw it in step one. I saw it in the work that I did. I saw it in these pages of a book that I didn't understand quite yet. I said to him at the end of it, I said, mate, how do I get a sponsor? He said, I'm your sponsor, we've just done step one. That was it. You know, that's the speed I come into this, because I'm like a ticking time bomb, like a hand grenade. You know, I don't know. I don't know whether if 24 hours later, I don't know. None of this, maybe. You know, none of you guys who saved my life. 48 hours, I don't know. So I'm in. Come into step two. Came to believe in a power greater than themselves could restore us to sanity. What does that mean? Sanity from the insanity of step one. And what I was doing before. You know, came to believe. I thought, as well, came to believe. Not now. I'm the disease of now more. I want drugs. I want sex, drugs and rock and roll, but also I want recovery now. I like that guy's got 37 years. I like what he's got to say. I want it now. What he's got. It doesn't quite work like that. But, you know, came to believe. So I started this process. The metaphysical magnificence. Because I think I'm the all-seeing, all-eye. The world revolves around Purdy. I've got a girl that I'm seeing. Changed bird to girl. Getting better at this. Some bird I'm seeing. Couple of you know, off license, couple of drug dealers. And I think you're all thinking about me and I'm thinking about what you're doing, and that's how I'm living my life. So delusional. And I look at the universe, I get a connection with the spiritual, the metaphysical magnificence. I look around me. You know, I live in Brighton, it's beautiful. I look outside, I can see the wind and the trees, the way it moves through the trees and the branches, the way the sunlight comes and it breaks through the branches. The sea and the way it comes in. It's against the stones. Moves in and out. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's rough. I look in the distance, I see the trees. I see the hills. I look past that and I see the hills going up there, with more trees. I go past that, I can see the sky. The sky is blue. Sometimes it's sun, sometimes it's clouds. If I was in a different country, I'd see mountains, deserts, rainforests. You know, all these wonderful things, all these wonderful creatures, all this wonderful, in its entirety, how beautiful it is. Day turns to night. The seasons come in. 4 seasons, thunderstorms, lightning, rain. Turns from day to night. The stars come out. The moon comes alive. The moon that controls the tides. Past that is the galaxies and the solar systems and whatever else is out there. The earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour around an axis, but because of gravitational pulls, we don't fall off. I'm breathing in nitrogen and oxygen and component particles that help me to breathe. Guess what, Purdy? There might be something more powerful than you out there. Maybe. You know, hold on a minute. It's okay. Don't need to know yet. Don't need to know. I came to believe there's a power greater than me, and there needed to be. And step 3, I'm ready to hand it over to to the care of God. Wow, easy. You know, slow down. Fire the liar and hire God. Fire my ass and hire God. Because do you know what? Above everything and more, above everything else, I ain't got no one else I can speak to. I said earlier, I've pissed away anyone that's ever loved me. I don't know anyone. Everyone's fed up with my stories. They don't want to hear this no more. I've burnt those bridges. So do you know what? I'm willing to do this stuff. I get down and put my hands together, I pray. Understand, stop running the show, stop being the director. Let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Do what these guys, you like the meetings, you like seeing people, you like that goes over, you like all this stuff, just do it. You don't have to understand why. Just do it. Step 4. Searching, fearless, moral inventory. Searching, really. Remember getting to step 4. Talk about it now, because if I was maybe a deeper step 3, why have I got a problem with step 4 when in step 3 it tells me to hand it all over to God? Because I'm human, right? Sort of fake it till you make it early doors for me. I'm doing all this, I'm reading the book, I'm doing everything the sponsor asks of me. I read the book 3 times in the first week. I want recovery. Don't understand a word that's in it. I'm trying to do everything that's asked of me. I'm phoning newcomers, I'm building this fellowship around me. I'm writing grateful lists. I'm praying, I'm meditating, even though I don't know what I'm praying for. God stop me being this person I am. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm doing everything that's asked of me. Going into my step 4, I got very much in self. The biggest one for me was looking forward. Step 4, my harms. Well, I've harmed them. I'm already reading step 9. Let me have a quick look. Step 9. I'm working all that in the head. Trying to run the show. How am I going to tell my dead wife's mum and dad how sorry I am? For what I did to their baby girl. I'm in self. Poor me, right? Don't worry about them. Poor me. So I'm in self. I don't find my sponsor. I don't do anything that's asked of me. I'm ducking and diving the phone, and I'm getting entrenched in me. This is the last place I want to be. Seconds away from pressing the button. Getting back on it. That's the way out for me. Close those curtains. That's it. No one has to know. Back on the misery go round. I finally picked my phone up to my sponsor in the afternoon. Hey, brother, let God. Fucking let me be angry. And we're having this conversation. I'm telling him all about it. I'm so sorry. He goes, he broke it down. My sponsor's not God. That's right, man. What did you pray about this morning? Well, I didn't pray, but you don't understand. I ain't got time like this. But what did you pray about this morning? I didn't pray about anything. What did you meditate? You love meditation. You talk about it to me all the time. What did you meditate about this morning? How was your quiet time? Well, no, I didn't do any of that today. So, that's all right, Purdy. Do you know what I love about your grateful lists? They give me hope. And other people. Because what you do is you pour your heart out. I didn't at the start. What are you grateful for? Dog, cat, air, meadows. I can't do all this crap. Because I'm doing a tick box exercise. It's until I get engulfed and entrenched in this beautiful spiritual world that things start to happen. So when I started writing a grateful list, every one was an essay. Because I would pour my heart out. I'd go into prayer and I would get on my hands and knees and show that humility even though I didn't know what I was doing. I would get peaceful and I would get quiet and I would go into meditation. And I'd get quiet, something I picked up very early. And then I'd sit down and I'd do a grateful list and I'd write it down. So where was your grateful list this morning? I didn't see it. It's starting to, hold on a minute, something's going on here. Because my sponsor's not God. Points me in the right direction. Come out, step aside, think about this process. Step 2. Go backwards, I'm in the steps. Came to believe in a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. Purdy, get your arse up, get outside and go and swim in that sea. Went out, swam in the sea, went under the water, swimming around. I walked back over to my flat. Bearing in mind I've lived there over a year. And a little old woman walks around the corner. Hello, darling. I'm not a vampire anymore. I don't just come out at night and I only do what I want to do. I'm having a human conversation with a real human being in the daytime. Hello, darling, you've been for a swim? I said, yeah. She said, I see you and your kids. You're with your kids all the time. Because of you guys, all my babies are back in my life today. Because of this fellowship, because of this program. Thank you, Bella. We'll talk about that a little bit more. It's life-changing. Oh my God. So she's sitting there, we're having this conversation, we're having this chat, this talk. And I see you and your kids playing around there all the time. She said, I tell you what, I'm getting a bit old now. If you go anywhere down on the coast, you go beach huts. Yeah, so she says, I live at number 9. She said, any time that you want to borrow the beach hut, total stranger, any time you want to borrow the beach hut, knock round on my door and you and the kids can have it for a weekend, you can have it for a week, just come and knock on my door and give you the keys. I remember going back up to my flat and going, what just happened then? You know what I mean? What just happened then? I see it all the time. I see these spiritual experiences all the time, not awakening. A profound shift in consciousness came from the steps. That experience, I sit in a car park earlier with my friend here, Julian. He gave me a present. As soon as he gave me a present, someone come over and they gave him a present. They said, oh. And I just went, that's what it is. What if God was one of us? A stranger. We pass. These spiritual experiences are amazing. So, that happened. And I'm in. I feel it. They talk about life change. You know, this is a way of life. The steps are a way of life. I get it. I'm in these steps. I'm seeing them working. It's working. Step 5 for the first time in my entire life. You know, I have to get that. Be honest with someone. Truly honest. You know, and have a proper conversation with God, with another human being, and tell them about all this stuff. It started to pour out. It's funny, isn't it? We have a problem with 4 and 5. Yeah, I swear, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll be telling you stories around my kitchen about when I was 5. I'll tell you about the time when I was around that. I do my step 4 every bloody night. You know what I mean? We're working in the kitchen. So I'm living around that kitchen life. So I'm in step 5. I get to step 5. I start to feel this ease, this comfort. And then we get into step 6 and 7. 6 and 7 has grown for me massively. You know, that willingness in 6 to understand that I am my character defects. I am. You go through that book and we do the columns in 4 up to 3 and you do a 4th. You know, where you look at your character defects. I learned a way which takes a 5 as well, column 5. So I look at the opposites of those. 6 and 7. You know, the devil, angel, 6. Step 6 is that, you know, that devil going, go on, fucking do it. You know, he's going, no, don't worry about it. 6 and 7 for me. In my opinion, 6 and 7. You know, it's my will, God's will. Column 4, column 5. Step 6, step 7. You know, do it, don't do it. I'm in those steps all the time. And I love it. I love it because I see it now. I understand. I don't want to be that person anymore. Reminds me of the devil, 666. You hate me, I hate you back. You hate me, 666. I'm living in 6. If I want to live a miserable life, I'll live my life in 6. The 7 deadly sins. Envy, greed, sloth, wrath, all these things, anger. If I want to live a miserable life, and I want to keep doing the things that I've always done, I want to live in step 6. So what I've got to do is I've got to transfer it over to step 7. Step 7. And that's all well and good, but he's a prick. I'm a prick. I'm no different. You know, there's still be time. I'm a prick sometimes. Other people are pricks. That's the way the world goes. What do I do about it? Do I act on emotion? Every action creates a reaction. Do I get involved in this? Do I stop? Because the answers are in the silence. This program taught me that. The answers are in the silence. Stop. Hearing, how on the Matrix, those bullets that come in slow motion and he sort of moves out of the way. That's what I'm like. With my own voice as well. I can hear me being out of order or thinking a certain way. And I have to do it around my thoughts. It's not just when I act out, because if I think about it too much, that's when the action comes off the back of it. So if I have a crazy thought, you know, well, fucking, what's happening? I don't have an opinion. There's amazing opinions. I used to be like, at the start, you see it, and then someone had pissed me off, and now I'm in recovery. I go, he's not very spiritually well, is he? Am I? Shut up, Purdy. So I have to transfer it from 6 to 7. I want to live a spiritual way of life. Anytime I'm feeling a certain way, I identify it, I close my eyes, and I go into 7. Incredible. Life-changing. I'm always in those steps. Step 8, with a hand. Step 9, go make those direct amends. It says in the promises you'll be amazed before you're halfway through. Oh my God. Hope, faith, courage. Have the courage to go and do these things. And to actually eat humble pie and go out there and just say, you know what? I did that very well. If there's anything I can do to make it up to you, please let me know what that is. And you start to have these conversations with people that you'd never think you'd have conversations with. I'm standing in a shop one day, and her mum rings me. We had a conversation. She said she didn't want to speak to me. I said, okay. And it wasn't too long after, standing in the shop, and she rings me. And she says, we forgive you. I understand you were young. She was an alcoholic. She had a drinking problem. I understand, and do you know what? It's okay. We've done our work, we've done our prayers, and we're here for you. If there's anything we can do, vice versa. And I just come off that call like, oh God, I remember standing in a shop, and this internal feeling of like, I was crying and I was happy, and I just felt like, oh my God, what's this? And I'm feeling this stuff. And it's beautiful, as well as other amends. Some that haven't happened yet. It's okay. It's not my business. Step 10. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what it is, isn't it? And that's that beautiful step process. It's amazing how they all interlink and intertwine. When suddenly I'm being a certain way, someone else is being a certain way. Step 10, or I'm doing an inventory on it straight away. I used to save it up to the end of the day. Different to a review. I used to save it all up and go, right, let me have a look at what I was doing today. Or I'd send it to my sponsor and I'd go, right, let me write a load of things down. No. Instant thought, not action. Instant thought. Before it becomes an action, change it. Close my eyes, move away. Step 10, I'm into that. Step 3, and over to step 3. Move into step, understand. I'm in step 6 and 7. Talk about it in step 5 if I need to. Go and pray and meditate on 11. And go and help someone. Because that's what this is all about. Step 12. For me. It's all of it. But what's going on here? Not robotic either. Like someone's out and I go, pause. Step 6. Move to this. It's not robotic. It's natural. It's spiritual. Because I'm practicing these principles in all my affairs. Because I'm doing this stuff all the time. Because I'm pushing through those barriers of, I don't want to do this. All that stuff that's going on in my head all the time. You've got this now. Absolutely not. I do this stuff all the time. Step 11, secret prayer and meditation. Close contact with God, connection with God, because we start to build this relationship. In the beginning, I'm putting my hands together. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I keep doing it. I keep doing it. And I keep doing it. And I don't ask why. I just keep doing it. And then these little things start to happen. These little spiritual experiences start to happen. Then I get to a point where I think, my life is immeasurably better to how it was. All my babies are back in my life. Everything's different to how it was. Who am I to say there isn't? Who am I to say there isn't? So I keep doing the things that I've done. I keep doing the things that you guys showed me to do. I keep doing this stuff because it makes me well. I love that. Seeing with your eyes closed. That quiet, that peace. Being able to be quiet and having that time out is just vital. So many answers in the silence. And then step 12. I remember seeing someone share at a convention once, and he was talking about people on fire and recovery. And I've seen it in this room today, guys. Oh my God. I go into a room this morning, I walk in here and I start crying because I can see all the banners. Cuddling everybody, everyone's cuddling each other. Walk into the room in there and there's birthday cakes flying around and there's someone crying and they're talking, and in here it's just all around us. Purpose. From darkness to light. Uniquely qualified. We know what it's like to be sad and miserable and unhappy. Now we've got a new life. amazing. Step 12 promises, absolutely incredible to watch a fellowship grow around you. Been lucky enough to be just surrounded by the most beautiful people. Cross fellowship. Created a meeting, spiritual cartel. Get to work with so many beautiful people in service. Get to share. I've just recently done some prison stuff. Heard some, Brian who came up here earlier and spoke. Ayshire, Ayshire and I. Incredible. See a guy there that would have carried on down that path. Would have carried on doing those things. But we go into there, we take the meetings in there, and all of a sudden he's transferred his life, and now he's got this passion and this hunger for recovery. And he wants to be part of it. He wants to change people's lives. Purpose. Everyone's got a voice. Every single one of us has got a voice. From big spiritual scriptures, we can come up here and talk. I was so debilitated, I couldn't talk. I was so debilitated and addict. There was a couple of people who were sharing up here earlier. My thoughts and my feelings, working out scenarios before they'd ever happened. Having a conversation, what you're telling me and what you're telling me about. I'll be down, I'll be like that. I was so debilitated from this disease. I wanted to tear the noises out of my head. It's like, please no more. I mean, we used to drop to my knees, pray to a God I never believed in. Please take these noises out of my head. I can't take any more in. Do you know what I mean? I remember sort of standing there going like that. I can't take any more in. I can't talk. Now, I can talk, and I've got nothing going on up here. It's peaceful. I have this quiet peace. That's what recovery's done. It's given me a quiet head up here. So I get to see all these wonderful, beautiful things that are happening all around us. And it is incredible, and you are miracles. Absolutely. Past is not a future unless we live in it. This is a change. And if you're brand new in here, guys, welcome. Someone I know says, come in, sit all the way down. Welcome. This is life-changing, guys. Life-changing, life-giving fellowship. And it has completely changed my life. I am present today. For my babies. I'm not taking photos at certain angles on Facebook to see that I'm in a certain thing with a car and check out the daddy I am. I'm there. I can play with them today. I can sit very cross-legged and I can be interested in what they want to talk about. The simple things. This is what it is. Someone again shared it earlier. I take all these things in. We're trying to find that nothing. And it's not just addition by subtraction. I believed in the old days that the only way I was going to get better if I had another Range Rover, if I had another girlfriend, if I did that and did that and did that and did that and did that. We have in this fellowship addition by subtraction. Understand that growth comes from taking away, stripping back me, and being a true, just in its simplistic terms, just a simple being that can listen and can hear. But for me, playing with my kids. I'm going to finish on a little poem, guys, that I wrote. So I wrote a 12-step poem. That's what you do when you're a football hooligan who lives in London. You start putting spiritual beads on and start doing poetry. I love it because, my mind used to work overtime, and that subconscious, unconscious, the thinking all the time. I love writing. I used to journal all the time. So I started to write a bit. So a 12-step poem goes like this. Never before could I understand what was going on inside me. The mess, carnage, chaos, rage, when all I wanted was to be tidy. Ripped apart in a struggle with no one to guide me. Was this it? Am I dead as my soul left my body? Step one, I'm powerless. Why is it taking this to remind me? Did I forget all the pain and the suffering and I'm not free? My kingdoms, they were built and then they were burned down around me. Please not again. This ain't normal. This is sick me. The sick me is me. Same roots, just the wrong tree. New branches and leaves must be grown to revive me, but I'm scared. Is there a God? So I get down on my knees. Of course I'm here. Step two, let me guide thee. Relieve me from self. Please, God, help me to walk with love in my heart and peace. This is step three. I'm not sure how many times in this rhyme that I've said me, but with God and the fellowship, switch that me to we. Because we stand together on the shoulder of giants. Never before have I felt such love and defiance. Unity, connection and strength with one breath. Now I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I'm in. God is with me. And you soldiers of war. War of life struggles and I'm into step four. Resentments and regrets from my life lived before. Dig deep, my friend, because I know it feels sore. These cuts and these memories, I know that they're real and I know it feels strange. We ain't been here before. But God is now with you. You're in the right place. Work hard, be true, release and feel grace. Grace from God as we admit all our wrongdoings, ready to let go and remove our shortcomings, taken right from us, to hold up in heaven. Our weight starts to shift through 5, 6 and 7. I'm open, I'm honest, I'm alive and I'm grateful. 8, 9 comes along and it's tough, it feels faithful because I've damaged myself and so many in my path. My amends to all these people from all the misery and wrath. But be bold, be brave. Just put pen to paper. Let it all out. Be free from the hater. You'll quickly find out, and this much is true, that forgive and they'll forget the hate's inside you. Be open, be honest, and explain all those years how you were sorry and caught up in addiction and fears. What could I have done different? What could I have said? Lay it all out, man. Put it to bed. Keep an inventory daily and keep a check on yourself. When you're wrong, just admit it. Take care of your health. Step 10 lets us live there. Step 10 keeps things right. For you to succeed, you've got to fight and take flight. But never forget to drop down on your knees. Meditate through 11. Stay present, stay free. Your connection with God is a power within. Free from all self-loathing, sickness and sin. Keep yourself in the triangle. There's no going back. Uni, service and recovery will keep you in track. Now you're on to step 12. You're alive. You're awake. Life is so bright and it's no longer fake. Get out there and help people. Give back, win some souls. This is your path now. These are your goals. And the beginning of fresh start where your heart now thrives. Get out there and help people. Go save people's lives. I'll finish it here now with me. Turn to we. A breakdown of self and a mind that sits free. Thank God. Thank my sponsor. And thank all that I meet. I'm happy inside now. I'm back on my feet. Guys, thank you so much for letting me share today.